SA. Deca batteries outlast and outperform the competition. Prefer to have it installed? We'll gladly refer you to a local professional. Auto Value. We've got the parts. We've got the smarts.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. If you considered selling your current home, let me take you to that next step with confidence. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I have been in the business of attracting buyers for 15 years. Let's make it happen. Contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
Whether it's a picnic in the park or a cool, easy dinner when it's too hot to cook, sandwiches in summer go together like peanut butter and jelly. And there's no better bread to build your sandwich on than Country Heart's Dakota-style 12 grain. Baked the old-fashioned way with whole grains and real honey, Dakota-style 12 grain bread has the flavor your family will love. Country Heart Breads, baking our best for you.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are Fox Sports!
And here's what you need to know.
They needed extra time to settle the semifinal at Euro 2020 between England and Denmark.
Kane slowly takes steps back and is ready to take the penalty for England. Oh, Schmeichel saved it, but Kane is there on the rebound, and Kane buries it into the back of the net. What incredible drama in the semi-final.
That go-ahead put-back goal off the foot of Harry Kane lifted England to a 2-1 victory past Denmark on SiriusXM. They'll face Italy in the final coming up on Sunday. At Wimbledon, Roger Federer lost his quarterfinals match in straight sets, while top seed Novak Djokovic onto the semifinals. Suns forward Dario Saric is going to miss the rest of the NBA Finals after tearing his ACL last night in Game 1. Shohei Ohtani, home run number 32 on the season. Angels lead the Red Sox 4-2 in the sixth inning. Game 5, Canadiens and Lightning tonight in the Stanley Cup Final. I'm Dan Beyer.
Good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome in the Nate Brown Show, back ready to go live from our downtown studio. We're on Fox Sports Rapid City. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. Hope you're having a solid one today. Breaking news today on the Rapid City sports scene. So we're all over that with the Rapid City Rush. I had to jump over to the Monument Arena, the Ice Arena, and get set to meet the new head coach of the Rapid City Rush. Scott Burt is the head coach of the Rush. He's going to join us live in his first extended interview as he got introduced this afternoon. Scott Burt will tell you his story and the plan moving forward for the new Rapid City Rush head coach. Scott Burt, former player in the ECHL, was a great player for Idaho and also coached there in Idaho recently. Scott Burt, the assistant coach for Idaho, he's a guy that's won at a pretty high level in the ECHL. He'll join us straight ahead. So let's get into this Wednesday show. A lot to get to. Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show, brought to you in part by Black Hills Urgent Care. My partner for me and my family, when we start feeling ill, we get into Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better. Really easy to do. 2 locations on Haynes Avenue Mountain View Road, Bacon Park, Westside, Rapid City, open 7 days a week. If you want to get better quicker, just go online like I do, bhucare.com. Remember that. If you need care, avoid the wait, schedule online, and then you get right in when you go. bhucare.com with the letter U. Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better. On the Nate Brown Show, we told you Scott Burt, new head coach, Rapid City Rush. We'll get to him. On the local side, we'll also check in with Kelvin Torvey. Post-22 baseball in the home stretch here. I mean, it feels weird. I know we're beginning of July, but really when you think about it, this week is the last week of the regular season, so to speak. So post-22 baseball entering the home stretch. They have Sturgis on the road tonight after beating the Titans last night. Pretty close there for a while, and then post-22 exploded late. Hard Hats are 25-23. They're at Sturgis tonight, and then the Gopher Classic kind of wraps up the regular season, and then they'll get set for the regional and which seed they're going to be. So these South Dakota games are important for post-22 baseball. We'll talk to Kelvin Torvey, head coach of the Hard Hats, as he'll get on the road to Sturgis tonight. Nationally, here we go. Bob Nightingale's in today. Major League Baseball senior writer, USA Today. Kevin McKinney, senior associate athletic director, the Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network color man. He's on tap talking Mountain West football and more. And Jerry Brewer, also live, national sports writer, joins us tonight from the Washington Post. Wednesday show, locked and loaded. A lot of topics today, a lot of topics. We'll get after it. Let's throw out the number. 720-1067 is our number. Check in on the show. We'll get you on 720-1067, your sports, your show. So you can join the conversation there. And the Barron's Wilson text line open and ready, 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line as well. So I've got a little adjustment here, potentially, that I'm wondering if I need to make. By the way, I am going to make a pretty major adjustment with a Major League Baseball story that I've hit on the last couple of years, and I've been pretty hard on it. Last couple of years, pretty hard on it. A lot of you in the audience has been as well. I told you last night, if you didn't listen to the whole show, you can catch the podcast, by the way, but last night I said, I'm going to take 24 hours and think about if I need to step back just a little bit on hammering this Major League Baseball team so much as I have the last couple of years. And I think I'm going to take a step back. That's later in the program. Here's to start today on this Wednesday. What's on my mind? Do I need to make an adjustment on this college sports endorsement sponsorship scenario? Do I need to make an adjustment? Because something just didn't stick right with me last night. And I wonder if it's a taste of things to come that could even be bigger. And what I'm touching on, if you heard the story yesterday, this South Florida-based MMA training company, this MMA gym company, they have the plans finalized to give every Miami Hurricanes football player $6,000 a year to endorse American Top Team. That's the MMA company, the gym, through the social media accounts, personal appearances, and other marketing vehicles. Okay, so didn't seem like that big of a deal, but I looked in it. I go, okay, this is $540,000 a year. It's $6,000 to every player, not just an individual, not just a name, image, and likeness. Like, hey, we want this guy because this guy has a great following here and there. This is the backup left guard to whoever's on scholarship. So it's interesting. I've been with the free market with this, saying, okay, college sports will get into the free market. It will correct itself. It will be even eventually for all programs. And I'm wondering if I need to make the adjustment just a little bit. Because I ask you this. I asked the question of the day today. I want to ask right out of the gate. This is just the first thing. $6,000 a year to every Miami Hurricanes player. This is just the first thing. So does this lead to $50,000 a year? That's just something I thought about over the last day. Just something I thought about. And I said, there are massive mega donors. There are mega donors in programs and big boosters, okay? So let me just throw out some numbers for you. You said, come on, Nate, $50,000 a year for every player in a program? Nobody's going to do that. Hold the phone, Jerry. Hold the phone. Hang on. $50,000 a year. It's just a number I pulled out today for the question of the day because I wanted to see, is this the start of bad things to come, or at least the best teams money can buy? Is this the start of the best teams money can buy in college sports? Because $50,000 a year to each player is what? What is that for a donor? I'll break it down. $4.5 million. That's a $4.5 million donation every year. Are there those folks out there in the big boy college sports landscape? I think there are. It may surprise you. I've been involved in some college sports, and there's big boy players pretty close by. You may know, okay? They're pretty close by. And you go out East River, there's a gentleman called Mr. Sanford. Pretty big. $4.5 million a year would get $50,000 a year to every football player on scholarship at Nebraska. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? That's my question of the day. If this leads to that. Thanks for calling. Let's get started. You're live and you go ahead.
What did you think it was going to lead to?
I just opened this up for you. Okay. Let's hope it doesn't go crazy. That's what I want to say. But maybe we're okay with it. I gotta tell you, Steve, there's a lot of people that they say that's okay. $50,000 a year to everybody.
See, that's the difference. Older people, they go to American Legion baseball games. It's still mostly real. You watch college, it's all going to be a billboard now. What did you think Billy Bob's car sales was, gonna had some big trucks pull in? He was going to get the linemen a couple $100 each? Hell no. This is just the beginning.
Okay.
There's going to be videos. It just doesn't. It takes all the fun out of it, Nate.
Well, here's I know what you're saying, Steve. It's the commercialization. It is this. Is this now the best team money can buy? Whoever does this.
They just made it legal. Here's my deal on cheating. If you don't think there's been cheating going on for decades at college football or any sport, you're on drugs.
Right.
Seriously. Now they just made it legal, and the biggest bucks get the biggest players. It's no fun no more. I want to see that farm kid from Michigan playing center for Michigan. I want to see the big Cornhusker.
Well, you know this. Man. The Huskers, they didn't always get the 4- and 5-star guys. They got the other guys and still won back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
See, but there was dedication there. You had a whole school behind you. What we had with Perlman and Peterson, oh my God, they killed us. They hated Tom Osborne.
Okay, now be realistic. I'm just going to ask you, if a Husker donor stepped in today and said, I'm going to give every football player $50,000 a year, is that okay with you in this new world? In this new world?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
You want to win?
No. Let me tell you something. They can do it like my niece did. If you want something cool to read, Jenny Gruber, Gruber. All right, grew up poor. Went to Boston University, ready to go in debt. 2 years later, she developed some chip, NASA, as an intern. And next thing you know, all her schooling's paid for. Earn it. These guys ain't earning nothing, man. That's like that dude that ain't playing high school football. Let's look at this. Because I'm saving myself for the Texas Longhorns.
You're never going to come around to this. I can tell. You just never.
I'm rambling, but I'm sorry.
I know. I got you. I don't think I'm ever going to get you around to this.
Where's the old days?
By the way, and I'm wondering, do we need to make an adjustment to this? That's the question today.
It's out of control, Nate. You'll never adjust this.
All right, buddy.
You'll never.
Just getting started. Thanks for getting in. I appreciate it. 720-1067 is our number. I ask you the question of the day, and I just throw the Huskers in because it's so perfect. It's just so perfect. If a mega donor decided today to pay every Husker football player $50,000 a year, are you okay with that? Are you okay with that? Okay? That's what I want to know. If you're the Miami Hurricanes, this guy just started $6,000 a year. And so my thought is this going down the wrong road? Is this just the start of this? I'm an NIL proponent. I've been talking, this is going to be okay. I've got an idea here that I think we can rein this in. I've got a thought. I think we can rein this in. I'll get to that after another call. Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
So I think that these kids have worked their whole lives to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
They deserve payment.
You're okay with it? You're okay with it?
Well, yeah. I mean, otherwise it's basically slave labor. And I get the whole scholarship thing, but, if you got to work to deserve it. Do you think these kids that make it to that level haven't worked hard since they were children to get to that level?
Yeah, I agree with you. I know that. I've seen it. I had a guy right in my house, D1 linebacker. My brother got a scholarship, and he worked like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe.
Exactly.
No, I get you on that. I don't want to get into pay-to-play certain ways. That's what I'm worried about here with some of these stories. That's all I'm worried about. Thanks for getting in, though. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks for calling. And see, that's where we got to find the what. We got to find the happy medium. That's the problem with the NCAA doing this last week. They sent it to the schools saying, well, you guys can do this, and you kind of have to figure it out the way you're going to do it, and we'll provide some guidance here. And things are starting to get a little interesting right away 1 week into it. We're July 7th. We're not even 1 week into it. It was 1 week ago tomorrow. 1 week ago tomorrow when they started. And here's what this guy in Miami said. Here's what he said. I'm going to give $6,000 a year to every Miami Hurricanes football player. It doesn't matter, the backup guard to whoever. Okay, he said $6,000 a year. He says this is an amazing opportunity for fans to directly impact the lives of the players and the reputation of our team. See that? This is an amazing opportunity for fans to impact the lives of the players. I like that. And the reputation of our team. He said, I originally planned to just enter into some deals with a few players, but then it hit me. There's something way bigger at play here. There's something way bigger at play here. So I asked the real question to you. This is $6,000 a year. What are we okay with? What are we okay with? Is there any limits at all? The Supreme Court would tell us the limits are against the law. They would tell you the limits, you can't have caps on individual rights of making money now that they've ruled in the Alston case. Okay? You can look that up. We're not going to get into all the details here, but that's the scenario there, which happened last week. Okay, they're saying you can't cap things. You can't cap things. But I do have a thought here. Let's get to some more answers. I do have a thought how we can't be handing out $50,000 checks to every player on the Husker team, right? I mean, we can't be doing that, right? Let's see what you say. 70% of the audience checking into the Nate Brown Show question of the day as we start today. 70% of the audience. I threw this out on Twitter. If a mega donor decided to pay the Husker football players $50,000 a year each for NIL endorsement deals, is that okay with you? 70% checking in. Let me make sure I update this. Let's get it updated. Yes, 70% say absolutely. The free market wins there. 70%. What if I would have said Alabama? Okay, I use the Huskers. You know, we got a Husker fan base here. What if I would have said $50,000 a year to the Crimson Tide? Would we have 70% on board with that? That's interesting how this may be skewed, but we shall see. That's a high number. 70% say, yes, I'm okay with $50,000 a year to every Husker football player. 30% say, no, this is pay to play. This is blatant pay to play. Let's go to the Barron's Wilson text line. Let's see if we can catch up here. This is just more to solidify entitlement mentality. Well, it's interesting. That last caller said, hey, these guys have worked. They have worked, and I believe that too. I mean, I know we hold up certain athletes and say prima donna, need to have their heads on straight. Okay, there are examples of that. But in a lot of cases, I've seen the unbelievable work student athletes we're talking about here now. We're not talking about pros. When you get into money, it maybe goes down that road. But the student athletes, a lot of them, unbelievable work. They don't just get there for nothing, right? So I believe there is a little bit of a younger generation of sense of entitlement. That may surprise you, but I agree with you. Little younger generation sense of entitlement. Most of the athletes work. Most of the athletes working for what they get. Let's see. Listener text. What I see happening is jealousy will break out across the university program. What I could see happening is universities becoming a specialty sports powerhouse in certain sports. The Huskers becoming a powerhouse in volleyball, for example. And then that team making serious money. Interesting. Let's see. Listener text. Nate, the Crimson Tide have been giving money out for years. Yes. Allegedly. Hey, careful. Allegedly. I don't know that for sure, but that's coming from you. Let's see. One more. If you have mega donors and every player's making $50,000 a year, then you have professional football. This isn't college football. They are professional football players hanging around campuses. See, it is changing the landscape. And so that's why I just asked myself today. Do we need to make an adjustment? And here's my thought. We need to have a strict guideline of what? This has been thrown around, but it needs to be strict. Fair market value. Do you know what that is? In this case, this is I'm just going to use the example. The backup defensive end, his fair market value in endorsement deals is way below the running back all ACC player, right? So that's where you have to start looking at it, and this is where the NCAA surprise another mistake. They've thrown that around. We got to have a third party looking at what's fair market value. That was the original plan. If you dug into this, I've looked at this for a long time. The third party was going to look at these deals and say, what is fair market value? Is this fair? So $50,000 a year for a Husker backup defensive end, probably not fair market value. You've got to have some oversight. Because guess what? The schools really aren't going to care much. They're going to be in a money race. They're in an arms race with facilities right now. That's the way it's been in the past decade. The facilities arm race, spending like you wouldn't believe. So they're trying to win, compete. The donors want to win. They're not going to say, yeah, Jimmy can't get the $50K from Tom's dealership, okay? His fair market value is just not in line. That's the problem here. You can't cap it, says the Supreme Court, but what can you do? Look at the deals at face value from a marketing standpoint. What is fair market value? That's the avenue that you better get a grip on. They better get a grip on fair market value. That's why you can't be running around. I'm sorry to say I'm not with the 70% today who voted so far. $50,000 a year for every Husker player is good to go. I can't do it. I can't do that. I'm NIL. I want deals in place for individual fair market value endorsement sponsorships, from their social media to their brand to their influence and the impact they make for their program. Okay? There's a lot of folks. It can't be a blanket, here's $50K. A number I came up with today, just leading out from yesterday's story of $6,000 there for every Hurricanes player. Okay? I want to see, is $6,000 fair market value for the backup left guard at Miami? Well, I don't know. Let me check his TikTok here. I'll just give me a second. See, that's what you need to look at. That's the only way it's going to be, what do you call, somewhat controlled. Somewhat controlled, because you can't cap it, but you better make sure fair market value. Where's the third party going to be in this mess? There is none right now. The schools letting them sign deals, and who's going to get the biggest pay-to-play deal? That's what's open right now. Coming right back with Kevin McKinney at Wyoming, Senior Associate Athletic Director. He's going to be in the middle of this. He's been at Wyoming 50 years. He's seen a lot of college sports. What's Kevin think of today's college landscape? Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate Athletic Director for the Wyoming Cowboys, live from Laramie next.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
The summer heat is back, but you can keep your cool with new windows and doors for Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's right, Christmas in July is back. And for a limited time, Renewal by Anderson is offering 20% off and no payment, no money down, and no interest for 18 months. That means no payment until 2023 and 20% off every window and door. Call 605-219-8111 and schedule your free in-home estimate from Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota today.
Folks, Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. On today's online-only auction, we'll be selling 5 acres of land near Whitewood, consisting of 2 very desirable building sites. Also selling a 2002 Peterbilt with a Cat diesel engine, a 2000 Aspen 55-ton detachable equipment trailer, 1970 Chevy short box 4x4 pickup, 14x20 cabin to be moved, a 2007 John Deere 4520 front wheel assist tractor. Here's a 49 Harley Panhead and a 76 Harley Sportster. Go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet buys cars. You heard that right. We don't just sell cars, we buy them too. We make cash offers to purchase local cars, trucks, and SUVs every day. Tired of listing online? Tired of messages? Or just tired of making payments? Whatever the reason, make an appointment at RapidChevrolet.com for a no-obligation appraisal. It's fast and free. When you're ready to sell, we're ready to buy. At Danny Manholt Rapid Chevrolet, Rapid City.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection, and brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Not all trusts fit in a box. We do our best to put the personal touch on each one and really listen to our customers and make sure that we take care of them the very best that we can.
We are going to apply the best of our knowledge and ability and care to really analyze their situation and find all the best solutions that we possibly can.
We customize what we do to what you need. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Out of the gate on a Wednesday. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show, South Dakota Sports Talk Show on a busy Wednesday. How is that? Middle of summer, dog days of summer, where we're popping We're popping. College sports is changing, no doubt. You got Major League Baseball news. Bob Nightingale's going to join us, Major League Baseball senior writer, USA Today. He's on the way next. Bob Nightingale checking in live. New Rapid City Rush head coach is Scott Burt. He was introduced this afternoon. Scott Burt is the new head coach for the Rapid City Rush Hockey Club. He's going to join us live in his first extensive interview of today as he just got introduced at the Monument Ice Arena. It's all straight ahead on the Nate Brown Show. Kevin McKinney's been over at Wyoming. I'm going to say this, associated with the Wyoming Cowboys, right? 50 years? I think that's a big number. That means he's seen a lot. He's seen a lot. He's been the senior associate athletic director. And I'll tell you, big news in June. He's going to kind of step back there, but he's still going to be on the Wyoming Cowboys radio network. Well, I love that. Dave Walsh, Kevin McKinney, it is the team bringing Cowboy football and basketball your way. Kevin McKinney joins us from Wyoming here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Kevin, it's good to talk to you. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Nate. Always good to talk to you, too. It's a little warm, but we like summer, don't we?
That is right, especially in Laramie. Yes, we love summer in Laramie. By the way, let me ask you about your next chapter here. What's going through your mind right now? You've been involved so in-depth with Wyoming for so many years.
Well, I think it was time to give somebody else an opportunity to get involved with the program. I didn't want to just cut all ties and go cold turkey on this. But it's been 52 years, Nate, and I think it's probably about time to step away from the daily routine of college athletics and still have my hand in it a little bit. I'll still be involved in our Hall of Fame. I'll still write my commentary, do podcasts, and then do the radio. But the day-to-day, the personnel issues, and all the things that are involved with athletics, I'm going to step away from that. So, quite honestly, I'm not sure how that's going to go. There's some trepidation there, no doubt about it. It's been virtually my life. Somebody said, "What are you going to do in your spare time?" I don't have any hobbies. I did athletics all those years. I didn't have a saw. I didn't do any woodworking. I just did athletics. So I'm going to have to figure some things out probably in the winter months. I'm busy enough summertime, but there'll be some time to do other things that I've been thinking about doing. So I'm looking forward to that next chapter.
Well, what a career. What a career at the University of Wyoming. He's been the senior associate athletic director at Wyoming, and you just said the number involved in Wyoming athletics for 52 years. You're going to stay on that broadcast team with Dave Walsh. That's going to be something that's going to be tough to give up, I would assume, Kevin. I assume that was at the top of your list. Hey, I want to still call these games.
I did, and I was really appreciative of Learfield and the university to allow me to continue doing that. So I still have my hand involved in things, and I really appreciate them allowing me to do that.
Kevin McKinney, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network with Dave Walsh. He joins us here on the Nate Brown Show. So I'm going to ask you this. You step out of the day-to-day college athletics right at the time, you step out of that in June, right at the time name, image, and likeness hits full speed. This is a whole change now in college sports. How big of a change do you think this will be at Wyoming, the Mountain West?
Well, I think that, at Wyoming and probably the Mountain West, too, it won't be as big an impact on our student athletes as certainly some of the bigger schools will experience. But it's still something that is all new. I'd actually planned to step down a year ago, so I didn't even know this was coming. But the timing's pretty good, I would say. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to change the landscape, especially of the P5s. They're going to have a lot more issues, I would say, a lot more involvement with private enterprise and their student athletes. It's going to be more difficult. There's no doubt about it. We've already gotten a policy and procedure manual together for our student athletes, but how much will it impact the University of Wyoming? How much will it impact the Mountain West. It's of course hard to say, but I think maybe in some cases, like Boise possibly or San Diego State, it might impact more than a Wyoming or a Nevada and Air Force. It's just hard to say, but the thing I worry about and the thing that you can see coming is while they're not supposed to, I can see people using that as a recruiting tool, and so that could become an issue for schools. I imagine those big schools are going to be really battling for recruits utilizing the name, image, likeness.
Kevin McKinney on Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network with Dave Walsh, and Senior Associate AD at Wyoming for so many years. He's here on the Nate Brown Show talking Cowboys name, image, and likeness. I want to get into Cowboy football as well. One more on this. I'm for name, image, and likeness. I said this, though, Kevin. I said, hey, my brother went to Wyoming, got a scholarship, worked really hard, played his tail off. He doesn't have any loans or anything to pay back like silly me. I wasn't quite as good. So I have to pay all these loans back. So I got the benefit of education, scholarship, and the value there. Okay? I've shifted a little because social media has now allowed college athletes to build brands, influence, bring a lot of impact to the program they go to. So I've said name, image, and likeness for a lot of these kids I think is right. And if a kid in the at school can do a YouTube channel and make money, why can't a running back? So I'm good with it. I just want to be careful with, as you said, the pay-to-play scenario of, hey, if you come here, you got a built-in $10,000 each for somebody, just like Miami just announced a deal, $6,000 a year for every football player, no matter what.
How about that? Yeah, and I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's going to be a lot more impactful than that as we go along here. But it's going to be interesting to me, Nate, how the locker room is going to be, because there's going to be some individuals in your locker room who are benefiting and doing well with their name. There's going to be a lot of kids that not at all, and so the way that guy did with Miami, every kid is going to get the money, which is not going to happen, of course, in most programs. But I wonder the impact within the locker room and just the culture of the team when a couple guys are making X amount of dollars and many others are not. So
that is a challenge for a coach. That's a challenge for a coach, I believe. I had a college football writer. He said, hey, the good cultures, the good programs are not going to suffer from this. Hey, he's getting his, I'm not getting mine. He said, the ones that are on the bubble kind of having a tough time, kids transferring out, you never know what's going to happen. He said those programs are going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And the other factor, of course, is the portal. If you're not getting the kind of money you think your name should be getting, you look to get in the portal and go someplace else. So it is more an impactful situation as it is right now. It's going to get more impactful in terms of people getting into the portal and trying to find a place that will give them more money for their NIL.
Yeah, it's wild. I said the biggest thing in college sports since the scholarship, the athletic scholarship. Is that fair? Or maybe even bigger?
I think it's bigger than that. It's just how to manage it. I don't know. It's just going to be very difficult to manage this situation. And I think the individual you talk to is correct. It's going to be on the coaches and the coaching staff to make sure your culture is what it should be. But it's going to make it more difficult to do that. And you're going to have to get probably a little more involvement in working on your culture, because there'll be some guys making money, there'll be some guys who aren't making any money, and that's just the fact of the matter. But at one point, like for Brian, the scholarship was everything. The education and getting your degree was enough. That is no longer the case.
Yeah, Kevin McKinney, Senior Associate AD at Wyoming over the years, just stepping out of that role, and he'll still be on the Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network. He's got a good podcast as well. By the way, I just saw this episode. you got a little surprised. You do a podcast where you interview everybody like I do the show, and then you got flipped around. Your son interviewed you. Your son interviewed you. What was that like?
I'll tell you this. It was probably the most special thing that's happened to me in all my years at Wyoming, because I did not know that was going to happen. I honestly, Nate, did not want to do the interview in the first place, but thought it was going to be our producer, Nick Seaman. And so he introduced the show, but he said, we've got a special guest questioner. And I'm going, is this Dave or who's this going to be? And it was Sean. And, when he was all done, I said, you should be doing this podcast, not me. He did a great job, and it was really special to me and very emotional.
It's a lot of fun. Before I let you run, you've been watching this Cowboy football program. We're just over a month away from these guys really cranking things up. The Cowboys are picked to finish high in the Mountain West. Las Vegas says they're going to win 8 games at least. That's a big number. Big expectations for Craig Bohl. A lot of guys returning. Is this the year for Wyoming football?
Well, on paper, and that's always a scary situation, but on paper it is going to be a good year for the Cowboys. You've got to always factor in that injury bug, Nate, and that's something that you just can't anticipate. But if the Cowboys stay relatively healthy, they should have a heck of a year, because they're strong in the most important places, and like many schools, a lot of veterans coming back, people who've played a lot of football almost at every position. And so I think everybody's excited about it. New offensive coordinator, so there'll be a bit of a new look for the Cowboys. You've got veterans at every position, especially that quarterback position, offensive line, running backs, linebackers, defensive front. It looks great. We're all excited, as everybody is, and we'll just see how things go once the season kicks off. We're just so excited to have a kickoff. It's been a long time, and everyone is. I say all our fans are excited. The biggest spring attendance, Nate, we've ever had.
Wow, I believe that. Cowboy fans want to get back in War Memorial Stadium. I want to do the same. I want to see the Cowboys win the Mountain West. If we win the Mountain West, Kevin, I get to go to the Jimmy Kimmel L.A. Bowl. I want to go to the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
I can't wait to see what the gifts are.
Yes.
The bowl.
Yes.
That would be a big deal, though.
I just want to be a part of that, okay? The inaugural.
Okay.
Kevin,
I'm with you.
Kevin McKinney, Wyoming Cowboys Radio Network's where you'll hear him as you have over the years. After 52 years at Wyoming Athletics, he's stepping aside with the day-to-day. Dave Walsh and Kevin McKinney getting set for the Cowboy football opener. Kevin, always good. Thanks a lot.
Nice talking to you, Nate, as always.
Appreciate it. Kevin McKinney on today, the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. Great guy, good stuff, long history with the Wyoming Cowboys and the Cowboy Radio Network. Great team, really good. Grew up listening to them. Dave Walsh, Kevin McKinney here. Senior Associate Athletic Director at Wyoming for a long time, and just stepped aside. Wanted to have Kevin on today. Kevin McKinney, 52 years at the University of Wyoming. And he says the Pokes look good. They look good. The winner of the Mountain West, I believe I have that right. I'll double check. But the winner of the Mountain West goes to the Jimmy Kimmel L.A. Bowl. I might have to do that. Everybody's kind of joking around about it. We might have to do that. Only if the Pokes go. I mean, I'm not going to go follow Boise State or anybody like that, okay? Coming right back, Major League Baseball writer Bob Nightingale's in today on the Nate Brown Show, senior writer for USA Today. And I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to apologize to this Major League Baseball team, but I am going to give them some respect. That's next.
You're listening to the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
The summer heat is back, but you can keep your cool with new windows and doors for renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's right, Christmas in July is back. And for a limited time, Renewal by Anderson is offering 20% off and no payment, no money down, and no interest for 18 months. That means no payment until 2023 and 20% off every window and door. Call 605-219-8111 and schedule your free in-home estimate from Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota today.
Going somewhere, going higher, faster, farther, going in new directions, to new places. At Monument Health, we keep going so you can keep going. We're dedicated to advanced orthopedic care with the latest innovations, technology, expertise, and treatment. So keep exploring, keep making memories, keep going with Monument Health as your partner. Learn more at monument.health/orthopedics.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in Fox Sports Rapid City. We're live weekdays 4 to 6, the Nate Brown Show. Glad to have you on board. Really appreciate it if you're having a solid day. It is always a great day in the Black Hills. We know that. The Rapid City Rush Hockey Club announced their new head coach today, Scott Burt. Scott Burt, what's his story? Where's he come from? What's his history? We're going to break it all down, give you an extensive interview live. Coming up, Scott Burt, the new head coach of the Rapid City Rush, going to join us live next. First, Major League Baseball writer, one of the best in the biz there, Bob Nightingale, is in usatoday.com, where you want to catch his work. Great Major League Baseball coverage, usatoday.com. Find him on Twitter at @BNightingale. Bob Nightingale here on the Nate Brown Show. Bob, thanks for the time. How are you?
Hey, Nate. Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. I appreciate you coming on here. I want to get your feel, and before we hit the All-Star break, where things are at. I'll start with the Yankees, okay? Yankees are sitting here 10 games back, and people are wondering, well, they're not going to be sellers, but they're not going to be buyers. What are the Yankees going to do? How close can they make this?
Well, yeah, they're not going to. If they sell, they'll sell off a couple of relievers, something like that. They're not going to be big buyers. There's not, there's not that one player that'll put them over the edge. So I think they have no choice but to kind of semi-stand pat.
Okay, so in the AL East, that's a tough race. I mean, people are looking at that race. Is that out of the picture? Is this a wild card scenario for the Yankees? Do I have you?
Big of a lead. You still have Tampa, too. So, I mean, it's kind of tough at this moment to see them as a wild card team. Although, because when you look over at the West, they're going to get one. They're going to get one spot. Houston and Oakland should both make the playoffs, and nobody in the Central. So, I think it's a situation where they're going to have to knock off either Tampa or Boston. I don't think they can do both, and hope they can stave off Toronto, who's still in the picture.
Why do you say the Yankees stand pat? Not to rile up the fan base? Or is that just the smart strategic play?
Well, I think that they think this year's just an aberration. That you're not going to rebuild in New York if you really want to sell off. You start listening to offers for Aaron Judge. Judge the free agent after next year. I can't see them moving him. You're not going to move LeMahieu or anything like that. So, you could deal off, a few relievers, that sort of thing. A lot of those guys are making big money. They're almost unmovable.
Bob Nightingale, Major League Baseball writer, talking Yankees first, USAtoday.com. So I got to go to the Dodgers story. Trevor Bauer on administrative leave, and now things look a little bit worse as there's reaction. Assault allegations here. How are the Dodgers going to handle this? Have they done things correctly?
Well, they really haven't done anything. Major League Baseball has handled everything for them. So, they're kind of waiting to see what baseball does. I'm sure baseball tomorrow will ask for another 7-day extension on the administrative leave. That will push it through the All-Star break. And then he does have a hearing on July 23rd. But, they can't wait that long. I would think he gets suspended, and I'd be surprised if he throws another pitch this season.
Okay, I was wondering, because the step there is what, Bob? What's the next step if this drags out in the court system a little bit? Is there the commissioner list? I mean, can Major League Baseball step in and say, okay, he's just suspended?
Yeah, they can. They say, violating the domestic abuse policy, and we're going to suspend him for the rest of the season, if not longer. His defense was it was consensual. But, it's not consensual to commit assault. It's not, or do bodily harm to somebody. It's against the law. So I think he's in deep trouble here. Then, comes off season. We'll see what the Dodgers do. I find it hard to believe that they would have him pitch again for them. I would think at some point the corporate sponsors will pull out too and say, wait a minute now, we don't want this guy representing our product.
Bob Nightingale, a couple more. I'll let him run. He's here on the Nate Brown Show, USAtoday.com, Major League Baseball writer. So I ask you this. The sticky stuff in baseball was pretty wild for about a week or two. Does it feel like teams are getting a little used to it, or pitchers are? Is this going okay now, Bob?
Well, some pitchers are still having, trouble. Garrett Cole's been a shell of himself. Aroldis Chapman can't get anybody out.
Yeah.
So, it's still having an effect on guys. So at least now it's more of a level playing field, and we'll see what happens there. But pitchers start, they got the message. It's like, hey, you're going to be checked every single game, and this is going to go on all season long. I think next year they'll have a different substance on a baseball, so you don't even have to use a rosin bag or anything. So I think we'll have new baseballs next year.
Oh, you do? Okay. I was wondering how they handle this so we don't have these checks every game. That's how they're going to do it? Tweak the baseball again?
Yeah, almost like put a covering on the baseball. It's not really tweak the baseball, but just put a covering on the surface of it. A little bit like they have in Japan.
Bob Nightingale, before I let you run, speaking of Major League Baseball sellers or buyers, is it time for the Cubs to realize that they're going to have to break up this World Series core?
Yeah, it's been a disappointing run. They won one time. They should have won more. Been a big disappointment ever since 2016. So they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to start selling guys off. And I think the big guy will be the closer. I think Kimbrel will get the most for him. But they'll trade Bryant and everybody else they get.
By the way, last one. Houston Astros have 53 wins. Do they deserve some respect here after the 2017 mess where everybody said, well, that's why they won? Astros are one of the better teams this year.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't need to cheat to be that good if I would have won it anyway. They're a very good team. They might be the best team in baseball. Dusty Baker's done an outstanding job. So, yeah, they're for real.
Bob Nightingale, USA Today, Major League Baseball writer. Bob, always good. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Appreciate it. Bob Nightingale live tonight, Major League Baseball writer, USA Today, live from the ballpark. Just arriving to the ballpark. Bob Nightingale on Twitter at @BNightingale. Want to do some rapid fire stuff with him. Okay. And this is where I'm going to take a little step back. I've been thinking about this. Got some emails from listeners, okay, that I was pretty tough on the Houston Astros with the old garbage can fiasco. 2017 World Series and Major League Baseball investigation, and finding out that they did use technology to cheat to get the signals, okay, what pitches are coming, and they ended up winning the World Series in 2017. So I'm not going to apologize to the Houston Astros today, but it's just something as I wanted to see play out. We're now a few years later, and the Houston Astros are sitting here coming up on the All-Star break, 53 wins, one of the best teams in baseball, close to the best record in Major League Baseball, AL, NL. And so I say, maybe we just take a little step back and you don't say the Astros won the World Series because they cheated. I don't think you can totally pigeonhole it. I don't think you can totally say it was the garbage can, knowing what pitch is coming and the whole thing. I think that's a big deal, and that's why I said that's a mess. I think you should have looked at somehow suspending players and all of this, and they let them off the hook because that's how Major League Baseball got their investigative information, right, from the players. And so you got immunity, and we weren't going to go down that road. That was still a mess, but I just take a step back and I say, it's because there's a lot of times people don't say anything. They just say, well, you cover one story, and then you hammer them, and then nobody follows up. Well, here's a few years later. They have a lot of the same players, 53 wins, looking pretty good. And obviously, I think they're not doing the old steal signal stuff. You wouldn't think so. I never know anymore in baseball, but you wouldn't think so. So I'm just going to be fair today. I'm going to be fair, taking a step back. I thought about this a while. Look, okay, do I need to give the Houston Astros some credit, some respect? I think so. That's hard. I'm not going to be an Astros fan, let me tell you. Not going to be an Astros fan. Would I have booed some Astros games if I went to them? Absolutely. If I'm going to a game and the Astros are coming to my ballpark, I would have. I would have been one of those guys. So I'm not there with the Astros, but I am telling you, the garbage can mess wasn't the sole reason of, okay, they cheated and so that's how they won. I think they're just winning baseball games, and they're a pretty good baseball team. 53 wins. So I'll give them, what do you call, an ounce of respect? Will they take a mile? I don't know, but just going to turn back the time a little bit. Hammered them. I think everybody did. Now they're sitting here almost atop Major League Baseball right now in 2021. Interesting story there, from a mess to now they're still pretty darn good. Coming right back with the new head coach of the Rapid City Rush, Scott Burt. What's his story? Where did he come from? What's his playing history? What's his vision for the Rush, as the Rush have missed the playoffs 6 seasons, right? 6 seasons. Scott Burt's the new head coach of the Rush. The owner of the team today said Rapid City deserves a winner. A winner. What does Scott Burt say, the head coach of the Rush? He's live here on the Nate Brown Show next.
You're listening to the Nate Brown Show, streaming live at FoxSportsRapidCity.com and right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates, and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Lows level off around 64. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. High of 92. Tomorrow, mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows around 64. Chance for scattered storms Friday and Saturday. Upper 80s, Friday, upper 70s by Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 87.
All these fried chicken sandwich wars got us thinking, what are they hiding with all that bread? Oh yeah, they're hiding all the fried chicken. But the new fried chicken taco from Taco John's doesn't. Wrapped in a warm tortilla so the flavor's even closer to your taste buds. With your choice of 2 unique sauces that really, really bring the flavor. Each for just $2.49. Whoa, that's even less bread. The new fried chicken taco from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better. Download our app for exclusive deals.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch the TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. I'm State Farm agent Scott Carlson right here in Rapid City, and I can switch you over and you can start saving today. Me and my team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just call me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson. Want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there.
Nate Brown here for Summit Automotive Group. If you dread the stress of shopping for a vehicle, you're going to love the way Summit makes it easy for you. At Summit Automotive, Stacy and Matt and their staff understand buying a vehicle is a big investment, so they listen to your needs first to help you find the vehicle and financing just right for you. And Summit Automotive offers a no-deductible warranty as well. Experience the friendly, stress-free shopping for yourself at Summit Automotive Group, Highway 44, just east of Campbell Street in Rapid City. Online at SummitAutomotiveGRP.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Lively show today. Lively show on a sleepy Wednesday. No, it's a big news Wednesday in Rapid City. Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We're live on Fox Sports Rapid City weekdays 4 to 6. So, man, we're packed tonight. Just packed. Thanks for being a part of the conversation. Remember, you can watch the show on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Watch the show on your phone on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Also on YouTube, the Nate Brown Show channel. It's up, rolling. The live show's there, in-studio camera, The Nate Brown Show. Find us on YouTube. You can subscribe there. Radio, digital, you've got us. Jerry Brewer's going to join us, national sports writer, Washington Post. He's on the way. Busy night tonight. We'll revisit our question of the day. Interesting question of the day and the reaction from you. That's on tap in the Drive at 5. Well, the Big News Wednesday. What is it? Big News Wednesday. Rapid City Rush have a new head coach. It's Scott Burt. They call him Birdie, right? They call him Birdie. He's a great player back in the day. Great player in the ECHL. Long career. And he's had a nice career coaching. Western Hockey League and the ECHL on coaching. Year number 10. Year number 10 in the coaching world. He is the new head coach. He comes from Idaho, a rival. He comes from the Steelheads, Idaho, out there in Boise. And he comes to Rapid City today. And he joins us here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Rush head coach is Scott Burt. Scott, it's good to get you on. How are you?
I appreciate you having me on, and I am fine. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your time. So congrats on the position. I'm going to ask you this. You've been involved in a lot of hockey, playing, coaching, and now here the Rapid City Rush give you the call. Why do you want to be the head coach of the Rush?
Well, in all honesty, Nate, this is a great challenge. It's a great opportunity for myself, for the players, for my family. And it was just something, if I look back at my playing career and my coaching career, it's something that I needed to do as another chapter in my coaching career. And it was something that worked out, talking with Todd and talking with Jeff. It just seemed like a real good fit. And I'm very excited to be here. That's 100% sure.
Let me ask you, you've been a long-time assistant coach. You've had some head roles, but a long-time assistant coach, and you're doing the gritty work. Those assistants, man, you're doing some gritty work there. Now you're going to take on the head coaching role. How much of a difference for you, head coach to assistant coach?
Well, it's, to be honest, it's been a long time coming. I have done that extra work that goes in as an assistant coach, and there is a lot of long hours that gets put in with pre-scouts, watching a lot of hockey. You're doing your hotel stuff. You're making sure the guys are ready. You have your bookings for the planes. You got to have the bus ready. You got to work if you're working with the forwards, you work with the forwards. If you work with the D, you work with the D. Usually you have a role. If you're penalty killing, you do a penalty killing. If you do the power play, usually you code the games, you code your pre-scout game, and then you got to have your package ready for the head scout. Now, because I've done that and I know all of that stuff, I will take a lot of the load off the assistant coach and help him out, just because I believe that you work as a partnership. There'll be a few things that I will pass off to the assistant coach that maybe I've done before, but I work as a partnership. I don't really, I guess, call my assistant my assistant. He works right beside me every single day. We're in the grind, we're in the fight, and we'll work together, and we'll work to make our players better.
Scott Burt's on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. Scott's the new Rapid City Rush head coach, just introduced today. So let's tell people your history. Great player in the ECHL, and then you were a coach. You played for Idaho, and then you just finished up being an assistant coach for Idaho. That's a pretty solid program and organization, the ECHL. So what do you want to bring to Rapid City? What's your mentality for what this team is going to be?
Well, there's going to be a little bit of a culture change. Obviously, with that being said, there's a new face and there's a new voice. For myself, I'm a pretty passionate guy. I think I'll go back to I think I like to get into the dogfight, per se. I like that gritty stuff. But for me, I've been around. I've worked with a lot of coaches, a lot of NHL coaches. I've been able to develop young men in the Western Hockey League to now being stars in the NHL. So what I'm going to bring here is a lot of consistent, clear vision with a message to our players. Our players will play structured, our players will play detailed, and our players will know exactly what they're doing out there. Now, that doesn't take away the creativity of a hockey player, not by all means. But what that means is my guys will know exactly what they're doing. They'll know exactly what forecheck they're doing. It's just going to be repetitious over and over, because my job here is to develop these young men to get to the next level. They get to the next level, the American hockey or the NHL, I don't want to see them back. I want them to stay there. So my job here is to develop those guys to get to the next level, whereas they stay. I think with that being said, that will bring a lot of players that want to come this way, working with our affiliation, building with our affiliation, building the trust with our affiliation. And I've already talked to a few scouts that work with our affiliation, and they're really excited because of all the stuff that I've had to do in the Western hockey about developing players. And that's what you want. You want that camaraderie between your NHL team, your American Hockey League team, and your ECHL hockey team, so that they trust you that you're developing the players to get to the next level, and that's what we want here.
Long career as a player in the ECHL, and also a 9-year career as a coach. Stopped in the Western Hockey League and the ECHL most recently with the Idaho Steelheads. This is Scott Burt, joins the Nate Brown Show. Scott's the new head coach of the Rapid City Rush. So Rush have had a 6-year playoff drought, Scott. Okay, you know this, okay? No playoffs. So I'm going to say, is Rapid City going to be a tough spot to get the high-level talent to? How do you do it?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you look at being a fresh culture change. And I'll always go back to that. A lot of players want that fresh start. They might have been somewhere else, and maybe one coach is maybe a yeller, or another coach is, you just kind of maybe get fed up with that kind of stuff. But they'll know for me that I'll get down to know the players as well as I'll work, and they'll know the passion. And if a player wants to come here, they're going to come here. I've heard nothing about good things about here. I've talked to a few players already that want to come back, enjoy it. But the sell for me is exactly what we had in Alaska when I was in Anchorage. Players are like, oh my gosh, I got to go all the way up to Anchorage, Alaska. But once they get to Anchorage, Alaska, they fall in love with Anchorage, Alaska, and they end up staying there. Similar to Boise when we first started. Now, Boise's a bigger city, but from the players that I've heard here, from the players that have stayed here, we want to bring that old school mentality, what they had back at the CHL, where it is fun, it's a great atmosphere. Our players are going to be out in the community. Myself's going to be out in the community, because I always look back at this, what we did in Idaho, and I don't want to always go back to the past, but the fans would come to our games there in Boise, and they would know who the players were. So they were drawn to come to games because, our players were out there, and that's what they wanted to do. They want to know who they're coming to watch, and that's what our players are going to do. Our players will be out in the schools. Our players will be out and making that extra connection, because when hockey's all said and done, one day down the line, someone's going to say, oh, you know what, I remember him. I liked him. Hey, I'm going to hire him. And he might be here in Rapid City. It might be somewhere else. But you make those connections, then that's a good start. And for me, it's having the players come here, fall in love with the city, fall in love with the fans, fall in love with the way we play, and then see what happens after that.
Scott Bird on. Couple more. I'll let him run. This is the new head coach for your Rapid City Rush. We talk to the coach every week throughout the season. We'll see if Scott's going to be on every week this summer. No, I won't do that to you, okay? I won't do that to you. Not every week, but we'll get you on. Let me ask you. You said Rapid City's the right choice. Rapid City's the right organization. How much of a factor was the ownership, the front office, and the momentum here that you feel like you have? How much of a factor is it?
100%. Just talking with Todd, talking with Jeff, talking with the front office staff is they've been spectacular throughout these past couple of weeks, and the vision that they have, I'm going to take that and run with that. And I think we, all three of us and front office, all we're on that same page. It's a family atmosphere. I know with my players will know the front office will know the players, and what is that? That's getting out again, right? So that's bringing that family atmosphere in. It's that little change of culture, as I call it, but getting everybody on that same page with that same vision, that's what we want to bring here.
Okay, Scott, I'm going to ask you this. Hockey's changed, okay? It's a fast game. It's been fast, but it's a fast game. It's a skilled game. What's the strategy or the philosophy from you? You're a defensive guy, but is it defense, offense? What's the plan?
Well, that's exactly what it is. If you look nowadays in the NHL and American hockey, all that, yes, it is fast. Yes, it is skilled. Yes, it is. A lot of it is off the rush. Okay? My belief is you build from the back end, you build out. And the reason why I believe that, and you'll see it, how successful Tampa Bay is, how successful Montreal has been, all right? They have been structured and detailed in the defensive zone. If you're structured in the defensive zone, you're detailed in the defensive zone, if you can get players to move the puck quick to the neutral zone, to the offensive zone, and now you're playing 200 feet away. If my players buy in to what I preach, we will be the best defensive team out there, but that will lead to offense.
I'm looking forward. Go ahead.
And yes, and the big thing for me is someone asked me today, they said, well, we need a goalie and this and that. I said, you need a goalie to stop the puck. Yeah, for sure. But the goalie will be able to see the puck. If you allow opposition players to get inside the dots and in front of the net, now the goalie has a hard time seeing, right? Now, you box out, you move them out quick, and the goalie sees a shot from the blue line, it's an easy save. So our players will be quick in the defensive zone. All 5 guys will be on the rush. All 5 guys will be a part of the breakout, and we'll move up together as a unit of 5. Once we get the offensive zone, below the dot, again, creativity will happen, whereas I will never take any kind of creativity away from a skilled hockey player within the structure that myself and my staff put together.
I'll tell you, it's a new chapter for the Rapid City Rush. Their new head coach is Scott Burt. He comes from the Idaho Steelheads, where he played and where he coached, and now he's the head man for the Rush. He's here on the Nate Brown Show tonight in his first extensive interview. Coach, what's next? You get moved here, you get the family here, and then what's next in hockey operations right away?
Well, it hasn't started. I'm kind of, I wouldn't say behind the 8 ball. When I was in Idaho the last little bit, we've already had players signed. We've already recruited guys, and I kind of had to pull back a little bit. I had an idea and a feeling that something was going to happen, something was going to go on. So I had to say, when I was recruiting a player, maybe just pull back a bit and say, hey, listen, wherever I'm at, I think you're a great player. I would sure love for you to come play for me. So it's reaching out with agents and players, coaches that I know, players that I know that want to come play for me. So it hasn't stopped really since I took this job. It's kind of been hush-hush. I do have to make a phone call to all the players first and foremost. I'll be starting that tomorrow. I've already talked to a couple players. I've already talked to a couple of agents. I've talked to a couple of agents today about a couple players. So it's already rolling. Tomorrow we have we're going to be pulled around all over the place again, but I got to find time to sit down with the assistant coach here, Jeremy Gates, and see where we are at, see if we're on that same page. And then I got to talk to a couple other players and interview a couple other guys and just go from there. So it doesn't stop. I think the head coach at this level it's all work, not really play. But then I got to head back to Idaho, and I got to get packing, and I got to get stuff all said and done. Thankfully, my wife has already started packing. So when we fly back to Boise on Sunday, we have our moving truck coming on the 28th, and we're going to try and get up here at the beginning of August to get find a place and get going. I can tell you this, right now it's a hard place to find a home, that's for sure. So
I do know that.
We might be living on the street.
I do know that. We might have to get an apartment here at Fox Sports Rapid City for you, because we'll welcome you into town. Scott Burt, new Rapid City Rush head coach here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City, your home for the Rush Review all season long. Congrats on the position, Coach. Welcome your family into the Black Hills, and we'll be talking to you a lot. Best of luck here this summer.
Thank you very much. Again, we are very excited to be here and see what we can make of this.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Good luck to him. We're going to talk to him a lot. Scott Burt joins us live on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. I went to his press conference earlier. High energy guy. Good to talk to him. Talked a lot of hockey there. Scott Burt from the Idaho Steelheads, their assistant coach over the years, was a player there as well, a great player. He's won some Kelly Cups, right? Won a few Kelly Cups. Scott Burt, the head coach of the Rapid City Rush, getting started and hitting the ground running today. Good to have him on the Nate Brown Show, Fox Sports Rapid City. As we get into the drive at 5, I'm going to go to this story, okay? I'm going to go to this story and see what you think. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, okay, Missouri Valley, that's SDSU, USD, North Dakota State. Are they still going to have some problems in a month with the COVID problem, the testing, the quarantining, the deal? There's an article out of the Inforum newspaper saying what is the plan for the Missouri Valley with COVID vaccination teams, and where are they at? Are we still going to have a problem with games for the Jackrabbits, Coyotes, Bison, things of that nature? It looks like we might, and I've got my thoughts on that next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Nate Brown Show and like us on Facebook by searching Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hart Ranch Camping Resort is hosting their annual RV show July 8th through 10th. Black Hills area RV dealers and other vendors will be on site at Hart Ranch. Find out which camper is right for you with one-stop shopping on site. Plus, you can register to win a free Hart Ranch Camping membership. Get to the Hart Ranch Camping Resort RV show July 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. July 9th and 10th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located south on Highway 16 or Highway 79. Presented to you by Camping World, Jack's Campers, Dakota Discount RV, and Midwest Campers.
Here's what customers are saying about Anytime Auto Sales service and detail. John Gordon, Rapid City.
I was just looking for a pickup to pull my camper, and a lot of us this day and age look to the internet. I did some research on their website. Everything that you would want to know about a vehicle before you arrive is available on that website that I find bar none one of the best. When it came to their service department, Anytime Auto Sales provides me with an exceptional automotive experience. It was like a valet type of service. When I pull my pickup, pull my cars, the guys would get out, they'd greet me, they'd grab my vehicle, and I just found the experience to be exceptionally easy. I found their integrity and honesty to be above anybody else that I've experienced, and I'll come here every time.
For the best in automotive sales and service, see Anytime Auto Sales service and detail. Corner of Highway 79 in East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Black Hills Community Bank wants you to know that now may be the best time to refinance, purchase, or even build a brand new home. With rates this low, Black Hills Community Bank is well positioned to be your local partner. They are your home loans bank with local originators, underwriting, processing, and closings. They challenge themselves to close every loan on time. This may be the time to think about home ownership or refinancing with Black Hills Community Bank in Rapid City and Spearfish. Online at bhcbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Brianna Wickett with Elevate Performance. We want you to know that not all physical therapy is the same. So when you need care, choose a team that delivers the best results. At Elevate Performance, you will receive one-on-one care with a doctor of physical therapy. We won't shuffle you in and shuffle you out. We are currently seeing new patients from youth athletes to grandparents. At Elevate Performance, we help you live life to the fullest by fusing healthcare and fitness. Come and experience personalized care and physical therapy unlike any other at Elevate Performance, your movement doctor. Online at elevateperformancesd.com.
Hey, Rapid City, it's Doug Gottlieb. Join me weekdays from 1 to 4 right here on 106.7 FM and 11:50 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now let's get you back to the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's sports talk show.
I like that tune right there. That's a good tune to get you going in the Drive at 5 on a Wednesday. The Drive at 5 on the Nate Brown Show. You are here on Fox Sports Rapid City. You found us. Thanks for checking in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Kelvin Torvey's on the way. Post 22 head coach. Hard Hat Baseball tonight, 7 o'clock here. Adam Birch on the call. Hard Hats are 25-23 as they wind down the regular season this week. And then it's regionals with a shot to go to the state tournament and on from there. So post-22 baseball in crunch time right now. They're playing Sturgis tonight. We'll talk to Kelvin Torvey, his thoughts on where the Hard Hats are at as the postseason approaches. Jerry Brewer's on the way, national sports writer at Washington Post. We're packed here in this hour in the Drive at 5, brought to you by Summit Automotive Group. Car buying built around you, truly built around you. Look at their selection, summitautogrp.com. Remember it. You're looking at cars right now, summitautogrp.com. I can't believe the answers in the question of the day today. Let's just revisit it really quick here if you missed the first hour. See, I'm going to update you on the question of the day. So with this name, image, and likeness scenario, I think this Miami Hurricane story, which I told you right about this time last night, if you caught last night's show, right about this time I said the name, image, and likeness scenario getting interesting in college sports. A Miami MMA gym said, hey, we're going to give $6,000 a year to every Hurricanes player. No questions asked. We just need you to endorse us on your social media and make some appearances, things like that. So $6,000 out the door to every player, no matter what. And I said, I'm starting to get a little concerned, and that's even me. A name, image, and likeness, a proponent, not an opponent, a proponent. And so I asked the question of the day. I said, where does this money situation go from here? And so I ask you today, here's the question of the day. I'm surprised by the answers. I am. If a mega donor for the Huskers said, I'm going to give $50,000 to every Husker player, are you okay with that? That would be a $4.5 million donation, so to speak, with the name, image, and likeness. So I'm a massive Husker donor. I've got a business. I'm going to go $4.5 million large every year. I'm going to give $50,000 a year to every Husker football player. I ask you, would you be okay with that? Okay, Miami's starting with $6,000 a year. What about 50? 67% of you say yes, you're okay with it. So we can't be giving out $50,000 to the third string defensive end. We can't be doing that. I was going to say, well, I'm not going to tell people what to do with their money, and I want the Huskers to win. So we can't get into this is a hypothetical here, but I'm going to keep my eye on how this develops here because it may surprise you. Don't be too naive. There's some big boy players, and there's going to be some big dollars. I think the $6,000 a year to every Hurricane player is just a little pocket change. a little pocket change in the name, image, and likeness battle for supremacy in college football. And 67% of the audience today says, yes, I'm okay with 50 grand a year going out to every Husker player for NIL. Just a hypothetical. 33% of you say, no, that pay to play is getting, that would be out of control. We got to be watching how they do this. Will schools actually monitor fair market value for each individual athlete? And fair market value is what you bring from your brand, social media, etc. The fair market value of deals, meaning 50 grand every player. That's not going to fall into that category of, yes, that's fair market value for Adrian Martinez, the quarterback, and the third string linebacker. That's fair market value. That's just no. How are we going to monitor it? That's what you got to watch, the fair market value. You're not going to be able to cap it, but the fair market value is the regulation, the guardrail that you better keep an eye on here. But apparently 67% say, yeah, I'm in. 50 grand a year. 50 grand a year for every player. Anything to bring back the Huskers is what you're telling me. Okay, I get it. Here's a quick one. The Missouri Valley Conference. There's a story by Michael McFeely. We've had him on the show in Forum, live from Fargo, right? He covers North Dakota State. We've had him on. Always good discussion with Mike. Mike McFeely looked into the Missouri Valley Conference as they get set to launch the fall sports season here, namely football. And so he talked to the Missouri Valley Commissioner. This is South Dakota State, USD, North Dakota State, okay, and the like. The situation with COVID there for the fall may be a problem, meaning a lot of testing, potential quarantines, potential games being canceled, because it looks as though the commissioner's saying, hey, we're all over the map as far as some of the teams with the vaccinations, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and yell and argue about, oh, this team should get this and this vaccination and this team's failing and this team's again. The commissioner's saying in the Missouri Valley, there's teams that are 25% vaccinated and there's teams that are up to 70%, okay? So it's all over the map, meaning Mike McFeely in his story, Inforum.com, good story, he's saying, are we going to have some game problems and some schedule problems if this is the story? Here's my story. The answer to that would, yes, I think we may have some problems if they continue the protocols that they had in place last spring, okay? So that's my answer. But here's where I'm at. And I don't know if people are with me or are going to argue about this. Here's where I'm at. We're going to have full stadiums at South Dakota State. It's a big stadium, but unlimited tickets. Unlimited at the Fargo Dome. Unlimited. Get a packet. We're going to Memorial Stadium for the Huskers, for example, down there, the Big Ten. Get a packet, okay? So we're having fans coming and tailgating and going to games and this and that. Large numbers vaccinated, you would think. Some not, okay? That's my issue with the college protocol as we get into the fall here. Now, there's still some things popping and some things happening. So what I'm telling you is, I don't believe it's going to hold that we hold the athletic teams to a different standard than the fans coming to the games. Am I wrong on that? I may end up being wrong. Maybe the Missouri Valley to the Big Ten to wherever will continue the strict protocols of, as North Carolina State found out in the College World Series, they got booted. And that's my argument I make today. It's not just for a sports argument, but it's this. The common sense to me is fans packing into the stadium, no limits, tailgating, events. We're doing everything, but we're holding the teams to a different standard. I don't think that's the right call. Will that be how it is in the fall? Because then you're going to have some issues potentially, because I'm seeing college kids and some get vaccinated, some aren't, and you're going to see things popping, and you're going to have some messy situations. So my point being, we're going to events, we're going to fairs, we're going to restaurants, we're going to games, and fans are going full bore. We're going to airlines, airports, and vacations, and all of this. So I can go to a Wyoming football game, but the Wyoming Cowboys football team, there's a couple of positives. They got tested here, and now we cancel the game. The fans can, well, maybe we'll just have a big tailgate instead of the game so you all can get together out there. The players can't play, but you guys can just go for broke. That's not making sense to me. That's not making sense. Will the Missouri Valley, the Big Ten, the Mountain West, the list goes on in college sports, in the fall, will they change protocol? Will they change protocol? Because the protocol's been changed for the fans, but not for the players. That doesn't seem correct. Coming right back with Kelvin Torvey, Post-22 head baseball coach. Hard Hats update as they're on their way to Sturgis tonight. He's on the way.
The Nate Brown Show.
The summer heat is back, but you can keep your cool with new windows and doors for renewal by Anderson of South Dakota. That's right, Christmas in July is back. And for a limited time, Renewal by Anderson is offering 20% off and no payment, no money down, and no interest for 18 months. That means no payment until 2023 and 20% off every window and door. Call 605-219-8111 and schedule your free in-home estimate from Renewal by Anderson of South Dakota today.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
All right, it's summer in the Black Hills, and if you're looking for the best place to have a cold one with the best selection, the number one place in Rapid City is Pour 54 downtown. This is my new favorite spot, with 54 taps of craft beer from South Dakota and regional breweries, plus cider, wine, and hard seltzer. Pour 54 has 3 levels with a great sports area upstairs. With Detroit-style pizza and great appetizers, there's just no place like it in Rapid City. You gotta hit Pour 54 downtown at 615 Main Street.
Each South Dakota farmer operates differently, and that means that ag insurance should be as unique as every farmer in the field. Fisher Rounds & Associates gets to know you and your operation before we find a policy. That way, we can make sure you have the coverage you need. Contact Fisher Rounds & Associates and see what it means to have us at your service and at your side. Fisher Rounds & Associates, serving South Dakota farmers with offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker in Rapid City. If you considered selling your current home, let me take you to that next step with confidence. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I have been in the business of attracting buyers for 15 years. Let's make it happen. Contact me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, at 415-0044.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in on the Drive at 5 on a Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show. It is South Dakota's sports talk show, live, local, the biggest national newsmakers and also the local sports newsmakers all here on Fox Sports Rapid City, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, and also there on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. You can watch us live on YouTube in studio camera. It's got a Rapid City Rush banner to hang up in the studio. We got that today. Good stuff. We got to add the Rush to the studio. We'll do that. You can also watch the show on Twitter at Nate Brown Show. Tonight, 7 o'clock, we've got more Post-22 baseball. I can't believe it, but entering the home stretch of the regular season this week, essentially. Hard Hats on the road at Sturgis tonight after beating Sturgis last night. at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. 9-2, a little tight throughout, but they blew it open at the end. And Post 22, 25-23. And their last opponent in South Dakota is Sturgis tonight. Kelvin Torvey's on his way to Sturgis for Hard Hats Baseball, and the head coach at Post 22 joins us. Coach, it's good to have you on. How are you?
Thanks, Nate. I'm doing well.
Thanks for the time. Let me ask you about your we'll get to last night, but your recap of the Firecracker. You guys go 3-3. You want to win that thing, but what was the level of play for the teams that came in here? Creighton Prep looked good. River Park out of California looked really good. Well, what you think?
The level of play was great. With this new ballpark, we got teams lining up around the block to come up here and play. And, we lost 3 games, Prep, Thunder Academy out of Colorado, and River Park, California. Of those 3, we could have won them all, but we made mistakes late. And when you make mistakes late against good teams, you usually end up losing. But as far as the level of, Rocky Mountain, they've always had a good program. They were a little down this year. So the level of play was fantastic. The crowds were great. It was a lot of fun.
How did the River Park scenario happen? I was, their coach was saying, hey, this was a great place to come. The players really enjoyed it. Are the Black Hills a great attraction with the ballpark?
Well, the coach of River Park is Reggie Christensen, who was the head coach at South Dakota State for about 5 years, back in the first decade of the 2000s. And he would come out here to the Firecracker to recruit, and he would stay at my parents' house. And somehow he got word that Torvey was coaching Post 22, and he found my number and asked me if I was related to Kermit Torvey, and I said, yeah, he's my dad. And so that's how the conversation started, and that's how they got invited to the Firecracker, and I'm glad they came out because they were an outstanding team.
That's great background, great story. So Post 22, 25-23, how do you feel right now? As you get set? I said, this is the last week of the regular season, essentially, as you finish it off with the Gopher Classic coming up.
Right. The record speaks for itself. Record says who you are. And we're still making too many mistakes, whether that's base running, physical errors in the field, taking 2 or 3, 4 innings of non-competitive at-bats. We're still, even last night, we made too many mistakes. On the good side, we have learned to compete. Last night we competed in the bottom of the 6th and broke the game open. So we still have a lot of work to do because we're still making mistakes that we should not be making at this point in the season. But we still got a couple weeks left, and, you never know when it's going to click.
Where are you happy with the growth, Coach? I'm trying to, pinpoint part of the game where you go into a game and you say, we should be solid here. Whether it's defense, pitching, hitting, where are you solid that you can rely on?
We've swung the bats pretty well this year. For the most part, we've put in competitive at-bats. That being said, there have been games where we would take 3 or 4 of the middle innings off and get behind the 8 ball. So, of all the areas that are a baseball game, I would say swinging the bat, but we still have great improvement that we could make in the area.
I want to ask you about Sturgis. You said it last night. It was tight there for a while, and then you got it done late. You end up winning big over Sturgis. Now you play them back-to-back. When it comes down to it, what'd you learn last night about your guys? I mean, some of these guys are young. It was tight. You could get a little tight here. All Sturgis were only leading by a run. What'd you learn last night out of that game?
One thing I did like is, we're playing Sturgis, and most of our fans think it should be a walkover, which in truth it's not, because Sturgis has good players. Last year they were good. The year before they were good. They're good this year. They swing the bats pretty well. In fact, they might have out hit us last night until the bottom of the 6th. And so, but the thing I liked about us is we competed late, and oftentimes when you're playing somebody that on paper you should beat handily, and it's a tight game, you tend to get a little nervous, and we did not. Hunter Tillery pounded the zone. He got it, in 1 out in the 7th, and he ran out of pitches, and Wilson Keeper came in and shut the door. And so we didn't let the situation get to us. We just played our game, and in the bottom of the 6th, we blew it open. So that was an encouraging sign.
Let me ask you about a side story. Branson Keel went to the Major League Baseball Combine. That's the first time they've done a combine. He went out to that. Then he rejoined you guys. Just talk about his development here and that opportunity.
It's pretty cool. Wherever we've been this summer, there have been scouts following us. And Branson has, he's played well. He's pitched well when the scouts were there. And then he had this opportunity to go to the combine, which from, a kid from South Dakota doesn't happen very often. Obviously this is the first year of the combine, but, Branson was there, and Cooper Bowman, who graduated from our program 2 years ago, was there. He's a post-22 guy. So it's pretty cool to see this. And, the draft is in 4 or 5 days, and we'll see. I think both of them will get drafted, although it remains to be seen where. But it's a cool thing for not just post-22 baseball, but for baseball in Rapid City.
Yeah, that's a great story. Great story. Branson Keel and Cooper Bowman. We had Cooper on not so long ago. Hard Hats on the road tonight, trying to win back-to-back against Sturgis. 7 o'clock coming up on Fox Sports Rapid City. And post-22 head coach Kelvin Torvey. Always good to join us. Coach, good luck to you. Thanks a lot.
Nate, thank you so much. You have a good evening.
Appreciate that. Kelvin Torvey on tonight. Post-22 head man, 25-23 as they enter the game at Sturgis tonight. Live call here, Fox Sports Rapid City, just about an hour and a half coming up from Sturgis. And then it's the Gopher Classic. The Gopher Classic starts this week. They'll get on the road to the Twin Cities tomorrow, and we'll have post-22 baseball starting up heading into the weekend. The Gopher Classic is the wrap-up of the regular season, and then we're set for the regionals, and we'll see where Post-22 lands. Hard Hat Baseball on Fox Sports Rapid City, and the Hard Hats go 3-3 in the Firecracker. That was a great field of teams. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show with Jerry Brewer, national sports writer for the Washington Post. He's on the way, and I also want to get into Patrick Mahomes enters a debate in sports, and I wonder if it was the right call for the Kansas City quarterback. That's on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Hey, Black Hills, Boss Pizza.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Nagging injuries interfering with your daily performance? Learn how to take back your health with High Plains Physical Therapy and Aquatic Therapy Center. High Plains Physical Therapy is the longest independently owned and operated outpatient orthopedic clinic in the area. They want you to know that it's your choice for who to see for physical therapy in Rapid City. At High Plains Physical Therapy, you'll receive full-time, one-on-one treatment with a physical therapist, as they don't treat multiple patients at once. Get personalized care in a state-of-the-art facility with physical therapist Cody Young and his team. High Plains Physical Therapy will help you reach your health goals with aquatic therapy to minimize stress on your joints, dry needling to reduce muscle tension and improve pain control, and their Sports Metrics program helps athletes accelerate recovery time to get back in the game at maximum performance. Get back in the action with High Plains Physical Therapy, and remember, it's your choice to decide who to see for PT. Find them online at highplainspt.com.
Here's good news from Pro Auto Care if you're looking to economize your budget. Pro Auto Care can help you get more time and mileage out of your vehicle with regular maintenance and sensible, affordable repairs. Tom and his Pro Auto Care team will save you a lot of money without you having to replace your current vehicle. At Pro Auto Care, they find and repair small, inexpensive issues before they become big, expensive problems. Schedule an inspection of your vehicle now at Pro Auto Care. Open for business as usual at 1891 Rand Road, Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty, and they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Thanks for listening on the radio side. We appreciate that, whatever you're up to today. It's always a great day in the Black Hills, huh? Hope you've had a solid day. Tomorrow, we're back at it. We've got some interesting stuff coming up tomorrow. A preview, Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Lee Sterling's going to check in on the betting side. The sports betting side tomorrow. We'll get into Lee Sterling and more. Busy show tonight, including Jerry Brewer. Let's break down Game 1 of the NBA Finals last night. I watched every play. Jerry Brewer, national sports writer, Washington Post, on Twitter at Jerry Brewer, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show. Jerry, it's good to talk to you. Hope summer's going good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Good to be back on with you.
Well, I appreciate the time. I know it's been warm, right? It's been a little warm out in your neck of the woods. A little hot.
Oh my goodness! Way too hot. We're talking Arizona hot for a little bit, and I guess there's supposed to be another one coming in this weekend. So I got to get out of town.
I know that. We can't complain too much about summer, but it's been hot. Let me ask you about this NBA Finals. I want to go with the approach of, okay, Suns win last night. I think people kind of expected that. We weren't sure if Giannis was going to play. That was a big factor, but the Suns still pull away and win. Suns, Bucks, fresh blood for an NBA Finals. First time we haven't seen LeBron, Steph, or Kobe in 15 years. I mean, it is fresh. Is this a good thing, Jerry? Start there.
Yes, I think it's a good thing. And I think it's a good thing from the standpoint of it's easier to transition between eras in the NBA when the king has a good long run, and then the king gets chopped down to size. I think one of the hard parts for the NBA and the transition after the Jordan era was nobody dismissed Jordan and the Bulls. He was able to shove Byron Russell aside, make that shot, and that's how his Bulls tenure went out, in 1998, right? So there was never any kind of finality, as in, similar to Magic losing to Jordan in 91, or Larry Bird basically on his back while the Charlotte Hornets were dunking all over the Boston Celtics, or Jordan and the Bulls dismissing the Pistons, those kinds of things. There wasn't like a natural transition, and I think Jordan's greatness, which was already immense, lingered and cast a shadow. What you want to happen is what happened similar in this transition from Shaq, Kobe, Duncan to LeBron. It was very clear that it was pretty much over for them, and that it was his time and Steph's time, and I guess KD's time as well. And I think we've been able to just naturally kind of transition. Well, the same thing needs to happen again. And maybe this is a sign that we are really close to the end game of the quote-unquote LeBron era of the NBA. I think you have to attach Steph and KD and maybe even Kawhi Leonard to that as well. But we're being introduced to new stars, and then next year, it's not like all the stars who have dominated the league for most of the past decade are done. I mean, they're still playing at a high level. If their teams are healthy, their teams could very much be contenders. So next year could be just an all-out battle in which you legitimately have, instead of 3 or 4 teams that you could see winning it all, maybe there are truly going to be like 8 teams that you could see winning it all. And then when the dust settles from all of that, which could take a few years, you have a little bit of back and forth. When the dust settles, then you've laid the road perfectly for the new NBA, which is the Giannis, the Luka, Trae Young, so on and so forth.
Interesting. And a parity era? I mean, do fans want the parity era? Because I always throw this out. I like parity, Jerry, but I throw this out. I don't hate the Suns. I don't hate the Bucks. So I'm just kind of like, It's good basketball. I don't care who wins. I wanted to root against the Nets. Some people want to root against the Lakers and LeBron. We do want that sometimes, right? Or is it parity we want?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've just been conditioned for 75 years of the NBA to expect there to be this dynasty or just some dominant superstar who overwhelms the entire league. So to not have that, like not having familiarity in that way, is a little bit foreign. But there have been little breaks and little moments throughout NBA history in which you've had a little bit of parity. So I don't think we want, no matter what we say, I don't think we want a parity era, but we could have a parity period or a parity break. And I think that would be refreshing for people.
By the way, Jerry Brewer wrote about the Suns last night in the victory, and Chris Paul. There's Chris Paul leading the way in the tail end of his career. WashingtonPost.com, the work there. The Suns have this process that appears to work. Booker, high draft pick, okay? DeAndre Ayton, number 1 pick there. Then you throw in a Chris Paul now. This is the formula where young guys with some veteran leadership, how did we not see this coming?
Because they hadn't even made the playoffs. I mean, it is a unique case in that it doesn't seem like it's been all that gradual for them. I mean, we're talking 2 years ago, they were a team that for 4 straight years had won between 19 and 24 games. They were terrible, averaging 60 losses per season. And then now this. But there has been some progression, and they've got a good group of guys. And I think we also have to look at them and see what they did below the DeAndre Ayton level, right? Like you had to, and we'll always debate as to whether they should have taken Luka or not, but DeAndre Ayton is showing you he's an all-star player, and he's going to be an all-star player for years to come. I'd be shocked if he doesn't make his first all-star team next year. So Ayton was a number 1 pick. Devin Booker was a number 13 pick, so he was almost a mid-round guy. Cam Johnson, I believe, was like the number 11 pick in the draft. And then you look at Mikal Bridges, I believe, was the number 10 pick in the draft. They've done a tremendous job drafting outside of that range where you feel like you're guaranteed to get a star. And in being effective in drafting that range, they've taken guys who, while they were lottery picks, didn't come into the NBA with a silver spoon in their mouth and didn't come into the NBA thinking that they couldn't play another way. The great thing about Booker, Booker, I think a lot of people were pretty high on Booker. I remember some people thinking that he was going to be the next Klay Thompson. He actually, like as a scorer, is better than that. As a pure player, he has a long way to go to get to that Klay Thompson level. But just as a scorer, he's shown you that he's Klay Thompson plus, not as good of a shooter, but can still shoot it. But he was a guy who was a sixth man at Kentucky. They played the Harrison twins over him, which was a mistake by John Calipari, but still, that's what happened. He had to learn how to play a role on a Kentucky team that was undefeated all the way until they lost to Wisconsin in the Final Four. And Mikal Bridges was a role player on the first championship team that he played on in Villanova. Mm-hmm. And then the next time around, he may even barely played on that team. And then the next time around, he was a star when they won their last title. So he just gives you a little something extra. Cam Johnson, a guy who had played at Pittsburgh, transferred to North Carolina and kind of elevated himself, wound up getting drafted way higher than we ever envisioned he would get drafted. So he comes in thinking, I'm just going to play a role. I say all this because that's how they've gotten good. That's how once they acquired Chris Paul and there was a pecking order, it's Chris Paul and Devin Booker's team. And then Ayton is the emerging star. And everyone else needs to figure out how to be effective knowing that they're going to eat smaller pieces of the cake. Those guys, to be a group of players who are all 25, 24 to 26, to be a group of players that young they have an amazing ability to take a bit role, a smaller role, and play like stars in their roles. Normally, you don't see that until guys are veterans. And that's incredibly rare. Like, even a Rick Fox wasn't Rick Fox when he was a young player. It took some time for him to be humbled. These guys are already humble, and it's an amazing dynamic that they have, and it's something that I haven't quite seen in the NBA in a long time.
That's a great breakdown of the Suns. Jerry Brewer on tonight on the Nate Brown Show, WashingtonPost.com. You can find his story. The Suns win Game 1, Jerry. So I want to just ask you, what do you get the feeling here how this series goes? What do you think? The Bucks, Giannis, I think, is okay. I don't know how he's going to go the rest of the way, but played last night. What's going to happen here? What's your feeling?
Giannis looked good. Giannis looked athletic. I know he's not 100%, but I was surprised at how explosive he looked. So I think that bodes well for Milwaukee. And I've always thought if Giannis could be at about 80%, that they would find a way to win this series. I thought originally it'd be like a 6-game type thing. It may go the entire distance, but I think Milwaukee is going to win the series. I would not be surprised, however, if Phoenix got up 2-0. I would not be surprised if that happened. But the series really begins tomorrow night in Game 2.
That's interesting. I thought all this hype on the Suns, you're breaking down the Suns, and then you go Bucks. You're going to hang with the Bucks, maybe in 7. Jerry Brewer, national sports writer. Always good to talk to him. Great story. WashingtonPost.com on Chris Paul and the Suns. Jerry, always good to have you, man. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, man. Take it easy.
Appreciate it. Jerry Brewer on the Nate Brown Show. One of my favorites. Find him on Twitter at Jerry Brewer. Good writer, Washington Post, national sports writer here on the Nate Brown Show, breaking down Suns Bucks. Suns up 1-0. I'm still leaning Suns. I told you why. My daughter's rooting Suns. Chris Paul fan, rooting Suns. I love that breakdown of the young guys stepping into roles, not being prima donnas, not being, I'm the man. Interesting role players around the Suns. And everybody coming together here with Chris Paul, the veteran. Suns up 1-0, Game 2 tomorrow. We're coming back here on the Nate Brown Show with a wrap-up of who's hot and who's not, something you want to stick around for. I've got this Major League Baseball player. He's back in my Who's Hot category. He's been there once. He's there again. He's the guy to catch in Major League Baseball. And the Olympics. There's 2 stories I got to put in my Who's Not. That's not a good thing. The Olympics aren't even here. And the Olympics, 2 stories in the Who's Not tonight, on the way.
Your sports, your show. This is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Warren Chemical and Equipment Company has a 5-step lawn care program to make your lawn the best it can be. Let Warren take care of your lawn weeds, plus 5 applications of fertilizer and micronutrients for a green, healthy lawn. We also offer lawn aeration to help your lawn breathe. Warren's 5-Step Lawn Pro Service is the original lawn service company in Rapid City. Single applications of weed and feed or just lawn weeds are also available. Call Warren Chemical and Equipment Company for an estimate on our 5-step lawn care program for your lawn. Phone 342-7644.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we love the unique ways other countries compliment their chefs. In France, they say magnifique. In Italy, delizioso. And in many parts of the world, it's a compliment to belch. Don't try that at home, kids. But at Pizza Ranch, we keep hearing the same thing over and over again when guests bite into our pizza. Our famous chicken. And all the favorites on our buffet. We're beginning to think you're all trying to tell us something. We'll take that as a compliment. Pizza Ranch.
Physical therapy, athletic training, and sports science all at one place. Physio in Rapid City. Dr. Dan Jensen and his team at Physio are ready to help you perform at your best. From the youth athlete to the active adult, trust the team at Physio. Physio offers the skilled, personalized approach to physical therapy and athletic training, building the best athletes in the Black Hills as the official strength and conditioning provider for Stevens, Central, and the Rapid City Rush. Learn more at bhphysio.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, let's go on a Wednesday night to the Pizza Ranch tonight. Why? It's kids' night. Kids' night tonight's dinner time at the Pizza Ranch Buffet. One child 12 and under eats free for every regular priced adult. Wednesdays, kids' night, the Pizza Ranch Buffet. Open daily 11 to 8. 2 locations in Rapid City. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show? We wrap up the show every night at this time. Let's throw it out. Who's hot and who's not tonight in the who's hot category. I mean, this is really the story of Major League Baseball, and I feel like it does get overlooked. The team's not outstanding. It's West Coast. We don't see a mainstream. Shohei Ohtani hit his 32nd home run this afternoon. Angels, the pitcher, right? The pitcher turned batter. I mean, the story of Shohei Ohtani is intriguing to me. It's just intriguing, and I don't think it gets enough run. I don't know if that's just baseball and the marketing of it. Shohei Ohtani leads Major League Baseball in home runs. And he's a pitcher, right? Throwing gas at 98. Ohtani hits home run number 32 this afternoon, leading Major League Baseball. And, that all-star game, pitcher and hitter, I mean, he's at that level on both fronts. You haven't seen it. It's the modern-day Babe Ruth, right? Let's get out our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category. Pizza Ranch Who's Not tonight? 2 things on the Olympics. One is, it looks like the Olympic scenario, the experience, is a little bit in trouble. Tokyo has a big COVID problem. They've had COVID cases rising. 15% vaccination level in Tokyo itself. Okay? So we got COVID problems, raising the possibility here that doesn't look like there's going to be a big fan experience. Forget the international fans, but even locally. They built the stadium, okay? You know how much money goes into this. Here's the who's not. They built the stadium for the opening ceremonies here in a couple of weeks. $1.4 billion. What? $1.4 billion. No fans, no nothing. Looks like the COVID problem for the Olympics. And I don't know if it's going to slow down. We delayed it a year, and it's still a mess over there. So that doesn't make me feel great. I mean, I want the Olympics. I want to watch a lot of the events. I like the Summer Olympics. The experience, fan-wise, is going to be just not good. Also in this, I don't think this guy should go there. I don't think he should go there. I think you want to stay above the fray. But this Olympic sprinter, right? Sha'Carri Richardson, the fastest U.S. women's sprinter. She's got a 1-month suspension because of the positive marijuana test. Well, there's a lot of people that are upset about that, including now Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes among the many prominent supporters now, and Mahomes leading the way saying, after she got suspended here, no Olympics. LOL, that's so crazy, man. Shaking my head. Here's what I say. People can debate the marijuana issue. It's a big debate, okay? We voted on it here in this state, the whole thing. The Olympic, the IOC, and the committee, the rules, no foreign substances, including marijuana, right? That's just what it is. It is what it is. The old phrase, it is what it is. So Patrick Mahomes, same thing. If he tested positive for it, the NFL rules now, he'd be out, right? He would be out. So I just don't get why, people, it's against the rules, but they should let it happen anyway. I don't get that one right now. We'll discuss it more tomorrow, but Patrick, for now, in my who's not, I'd probably stay above the fray on that one. Coming right back tomorrow on the Nate Brown Show at 4. It's Hard Hats Baseball tonight. Post 22 at Sturgis coming up. Thanks for listening. We'll send you to the Odd Couple.
These two sports